It's fun. It's wild. It's Dad's Gone Crypto.
Welcome, crypto enthusiasts. Get ready to soar into the skies of innovation and imagination as we explore the realm of cornucopias. Today, we got a thrilling episode lined up with co-founders Rob and Josh, some of the masterminds behind this groundbreaking project. Join us as we unravel the mysteries behind cornucopias, the game that's redefining possibilities in the crypto universe. Buckle up for an exhilarating ride. Welcome, Rob and Josh, to Dad's Gone Crypto podcast.
Hey,
Hello.
how's it going, everyone? Good to meet you guys.
Yeah, great to meet you guys too. So glad you could join us. So Rob and Josh, can you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves? We'd love to hear more about your path into the crypto blockchain industry. What pivotal moments or experiences led you to take on this mammoth task in building cornucopias?
Sure, I'll kick it off. I'm Josh, co-CEO and co-founder of Cornucopias. We've got two other founders, Ant and Jeff, that are obviously not on the call. Normally, Rob and I do the interviews. My background is I've been an entrepreneur for my whole life. So I've been in the startup space for a long time and really enjoy it. The way that we got into crypto, the way I got into crypto, unfortunately, I dismissed Bitcoin the first time I heard about it as, something that seems like a fad. It's just going to go away. And then gave it new consideration in 2017 and got curious. What is this all about? And why blockchain and why crypto? And really it connected well with my values and what I see as being an important solution for people overall. The monetary systems of the world have not been effective. It seems that the poor are getting robbed through inflation, and you've got this monetary system, throughout the world where governments can just hit Control P, where the dollar is not backed by, or the national currency is not backed by anything legitimate. And so you've got the situation where the money printing is devaluing everyone's assets over time. That got me into crypto. And I was quickly attracted to the Cardano ecosystem because of the foundational approach to, using best practices, using peer review, using things of that nature to really build it right. Because I think the technology is so important, which is also how I ended up meeting Rob. I was very involved in that community, and I met Rob, and we started talking about an idea he had for starting a game, and we iterated on that, and it was kind of funny. Rob and I we didn't meet in person until 6 months after we'd already started Cornucopias. He's in the UK, I'm in the US, so it's an interesting story there. But we met because the founder of Cardano called out a project Rob was working on, and he said, "Hey, we really need that in this ecosystem." And so I made it a point to reach out to Rob, and then we got going on Cornucopias shortly after that. So that's the quick answer there for you, Rob. Your turn.
Oh, mine will be even quicker. I like Josh also. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm the co-CEO as well with Josh. I've been a gamer all my life, and I started programming at the age of 12. So I've been an entrepreneur, building companies and teams, and for over 25 years now, specializing in software development, business analysis, and transformations. And I've been in crypto, very similar as everybody else, from around 2017, just at the hype of the last bull market. And then like Josh was saying, when the opportunities came forward to start working and developing on the Cardano blockchain, I was one of the original 50 members that were chosen to do that. And then I wrote some open source software, and Charles shouted me out, and then Josh shouted me out, and we met, and ever since then we've been working together, and we've just been going from strength to strength.
Brilliant.
That was quick. Good job.
Excellent.
So, Josh, tell me, can you give us, our audience wants to understand more about the projects you guys are building, right? Or the project you guys are building. Can you give us an overview of what Cornucopias is, what it's about, what it stands for, and how does it stand out from other gaming platforms in the market today?
Yeah, sure. So Cornucopias is a cutting-edge MMO RPG set in a world where humanity has ascended from the Earth's surface and it's created a breathtaking new world in the sky. It's filled with floating islands carved from the land we once called home, now encased in radically advanced dome-shaped structures suspended high above the clouds. Each one is a futuristic marvel with its own unique environment, identity, and thriving communities. It is within these domes that the epic journey begins. Here, players take control of their own personal avatar, which gives them the freedom to choose their destiny, be immersed in vast landscapes, explore vibrant settlements, and engage in a myriad of activities such as crafting, commerce, combat, racing, and more. Welcome to a world where the sky is no longer the limit. So that's just a elevator pitch we're using for the game, just kind of a lore based intro to what Cornucopias is. But to sum that up, basically, it's a variety of lands that are above the Earth's surface, and there are it's space travel. You can travel from dome to dome and get a different gaming experience in each one. For example, the game that is live now is Toledo Valley Raceway and Toledo Valley Resort, and it allows you to go in and race these flying vehicles that you use to get from dome to dome to dome. And each of these domes, what they do for us is they create space travel. So you get to travel throughout space and have a different gaming experience in each one, and that gives us the ability to just have massive variety in the game, and it gives us the ability to be very creative with what we do. For example, some of the systems we're building, like fishing, there's going to be fishing inside of almost each and every dome. So it will be eventually the largest fishing game in the world. And that's just one example of something. And mining that you'll be able to do in each of these domes, it could end up being the largest mining game in the world. And so there's going to be a huge amount of variety and a huge amount of just gameplay in each individual dome that creates the ability to have almost endless exploration, which could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. I've played around a little bit, and it's been so cool so far. So,
You got
cool.
into? Did you do racing or
Yeah,
Toledo Valley Race Resort? Or
yeah,
what?
the raceway a little bit. So a friend
Good.
of mine had is part of your beta, so I was able to play around with his a little bit. So that was super cool.
Awesome.
Nice.
So,
What was
yeah,
your
loving it.
impression?
It's absolutely amazing. It's a lot of fun. So I think you guys are the first crypto game that I've ever actually had fun playing
Ah,
compared to
Can
so
you
many
remember your
crypto.
time?
What's that?
Can you remember your time going around the track?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't, but I'm sure it wasn't very good.
did
I'm
you?
definitely not a gamer, except for playing games with the kids. But but yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun.
I
Um,
imagine you exploded your vehicle.
many times,
It's okay. That's
many
that's
times.
that's standard.
Yeah, I'm a Mario Kart gamer, and driving off the Rainbow Bridge is my specialty. So
Hey, that's a fun game. I love it.
right. So Rob, the conceptualization of cornucopias, what were the primary inspirations or motivations behind the inception of cornucopias, and how has the game's vision evolved over the time here?
Yeah, I mean the idea of the game was a couple of different angles. It was to be obviously a multiplayer environment. So it was always the starting point was always how can we create something that'll be fun for the community, but also challenging for the community. So in inventing different districts, we have district versus district competitions, but at the same time, players are playing on their own to build up their own land plots, but they're also building up and contributing towards the economy of the district. So it has to work on a couple of levels. from a development point of view, we needed a way of being able to evolve the game over time in modules. So it's like in an agile format, which is why we have the concept of separate bubbles that enables us to work on one while we're simultaneously working on another part of the game, and then they can seamlessly interact with each other. And then obviously at the heart of it, we wanted to introduce Web3, and Web3 games are very common, have in-game currencies, and it just naturally fitted with the ethos of Web3, of taking that in-game currency. And then if there was a way of actually evolving that so that currency can be owned by the players, I mean, that's just an incredible disruptive technology that was absolutely perfect for gaming. And ownership of your own assets was absolutely key. And with the introduction of NFTs, that's how we kind of put all this magic formula together. And we thought, we can really build something that is disruptive in the space, but at the same time, at the heart of it has to be having a scalable community game that is really, really fun to play.
Absolutely.
So, guys, tell me, in your initial design concept, right? User engagement, like it's just because you build doesn't mean they will come and they'll engage in the game itself, right? And unless you're a very niche, like a first person shooter only that attracts that sort of niche market. How did you guys come up with that idea of let's create multiple engagement areas and then incentivize? And can you just give us a few examples of how you've created that user engagement?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So, you know, the concept was really it's very metaverse based in the beginning, and then it's almost as if it's taking the qualities of a metaverse in the idea of the original novel Snow Crash, where that idea of metaverse came into fruition, which is almost like this new digital world that you can run around in, right? And you can do a variety of things. But you also combine that with an MMORPG game concept. And what do you get when you put both of those two powerful elements together? You get a social experience with a lot of variety in a different way. There's kind of like something for everyone, so to speak. So if you want to go work on farming and building up your property, you can do that. If you want to go fishing, you can go fish and do that. If you want to go racing, you can go race and get involved in the racing league. All of those things, we wanted to tie it together with a quest system and skill development as well, so it makes it more fun. So you're building up your character has certain needs, and there's a needs system involved, but then you've got to do these skills and quests to advance and improve your skill levels. So all of these things are coming into fruition as we develop the game to make it more engaging and to make you try out the variety that is in Cornucopias for exploration and things like that.
So there's something for everybody within this game. But Rob, could you shed some light on the technical backbone for Cornucopias? How you're accomplishing this giant basically metaverse of a game? And
Yeah.
have you optimized the game to accommodate various computing systems? So people are going to have slower systems out there. Are they going to be able to play? What kind of internet speeds are they going to need to run this thing?
Yeah, so long term, it was always the plan to be on as many platforms as possible. So PC, mobile, consoles, and eventually streaming. So we have limitations that come with Unreal Engine 5. So that require at the moment that demands a little bit more power, but over time, as we optimize, more and more graphics cards will be able to use. And actually, at the moment, we are allowing up to 70 different graphics cards that are able to test the game on the PC, and that will only grow and grow. But as the game develops, more graphics cards come out, and some of the modern ones become cheaper and cheaper. So we have no problem in the future of accessibility. And then obviously when streaming comes along, you'll be able to then stream into the web browser, and a web browser is everywhere. It's on tablet, it's on Mac, it's wherever you want, and then consoles. So the architecture in choosing the Unreal Engine originally 4, moving on to 5. We know that we're working on absolutely solid development games platform that we know that we can interact with multiple different operating systems, and it's also interactive with our architecture that we have under the hood. So we can scale the game using Unreal Engine. We can hook that up to Amazon Web Services in the background. We can use GameLift. We can use a lot of proprietary technology that we're building ourselves. We can embed that with the blockchain, not just Cardano, but Ethereum, Binance. So our architecture had the luxury of was having a history within blockchain and having a history with PCs, and some of our developers working on console games and mobile games. So we had all these in the mix to begin with, and before we even started doing anything with the game, the first thing that we did was spend the first 6 months planning the game, and then when we got together, the next 6 to 9 months working on the architecture. So the architecture is not just Unreal Engine. There's .NET under the hood. There's AWS. There's lots of scalability was built in from day one, and not just scalability of the game, but scalability of how we're going to put our resources and our developers and our artists and different workflows as well. So it is complicated. And we've only got a small team, and lots of people at the moment wear multiple hats, but we know internally how those hats are going to turn into different departments as well. So it's not just building architecture of the game, it's building architecture of the company.
Rob, just on that note, in your beta testing, can you elaborate on what is the capacity of users that your system can cope with at the moment, and what do you hope that to be in the future?
Yep. So we're not at beta. We're still at pre-alpha at the moment, and usually,
Okay.
games being built the way we're built don't usually have pre-alpha testing whatsoever, and definitely not public, and not within the time frame that we have. Usually when you're in beta really means we're ready to release the game. We've got rid of most of the bugs. We're really just in traditional beta is kind of just marketing. Look, you can give us your feedback, but we don't really care. We're about to launch it. This is part one of our marketing, but that's definitely not how we're building our game at all. That's why we're really early in pre-alpha. So currently we have two servers, two EC2 large servers, and we're capable of having thousands of players spread out over times. We have one server at the moment in America, and one in Europe. But we are definitely controlling the amount of players that we have in at one time, and we're doing this on purpose. We're gating this on NFT ownership. So we allowed the mythics to go in first, and the legendaries, then the rares. And we did that to slowly open up to see what replication is like, see what the game like and the APIs. So we have the ability to scale, which is the phase that we're working on at the moment, to unlimited, really, because we're using the same architecture and same technology as Fortnite does. So we're very confident that in the future we can have unlimited scaling, but we also know that with our systems, you can't just turn that tap on from day one. You have to go through some pain. And we're doing that slowly by working with our community, which is growing all the time, and allowing them to come in. But the next phase, we will open up a lot more servers as the community test is, and the game is at that level. And then we will onboard slowly but quite aggressively.
And right now we have a significant backlog. We have a waiting list of people that are ready to play the game that we haven't opened up to. So, if you're watching this and you do want to get in, well, if you have a qualifying graphics card, which is typically a 3060 or above, there's some other exceptions made, and you can find out exactly what the criteria is to get in and play. But if you own an NFT, vehicle NFT, or a land NFT, right now you can get in and play the game, so long as you have a qualifying graphics card. So that's what's needed. Now, is it free to play? Yes, it's still free to play. But if you want early access, you need to own one of those NFTs.
Okay. But in the future, you wouldn't need. You'll be able to just basically come into the world. But
Yeah,
if
correct.
you want access
in
to
the future, it won't be
okay.
NFT gated. Yeah.
So some parts will be gated. For example, when you're in the racing league, when you want to earn the competitions, you might have to earn a certain vehicle. So if you want to go mythic racing or legendary racing, then yes, you will have to have NFTs. But the owning the assets then unlocks other parts of the game, but the majority of the game will be free. You'll be able to roam and you'll be able to level up and earn certain amounts of in-game currency that you can convert then later on to Kopi. But if you some of the larger competitions, obviously, yeah, they're going to have larger rewards for the NFT holders.
Yep.
Cool.
But let's say, Rob, I've absolutely no money, and I want to play this game.
Yeah.
And could I obviously do a multiple, or like I could do farming, fishing, play some entry level games, generate that in game currency to afford a mystic level NFT? Can I gamify up like that?
Yeah, absolutely. You can come into the game with no NFTs whatsoever, and we've shown that within our racing game at the moment. That there are 15, I think 15 out of the 60 vehicles or 75 vehicles that you can currently race with. 15 of those are free, and we did that on purpose so people can come in and enjoy racing. Get a taste for it, and then if you become really good and you want to enter some of the bigger competition, bigger worldwide competitions, then yeah, you could purchase one of the NFTs or maybe rent one in the future, but or enter some of the free competitions. You don't have to buy anything, but I mean, yes, you can level up and then slowly over time earn enough credits then to get some of the in-game assets.
That's great.
Very, very cool. Josh, Cornucopias, leveraging particular gameplay, right, in-game assets and monetary rewards. Can you explain the significance of the rewards ownerships? So, from let's say you're competing in a game, you're receiving, is it particularly, you're winning Kopi, or you're winning a title, or you're winning a percentage of a rewards pool? How does that in-game system, level you up?
Yeah, it's a good question. And Rob and I have done quite a bit of planning on that. We're actually talking with a tokenomics advisor, an expert that is a mathematician, statistician. He's helped us draft a 36-page paper, I think, something like that. And then we're also talking with Machinations, which is going to be a partner that helps us to do Monte Carlo simulations of the in-game economy and the reward system and how all of that's going to work. So it's tough to say exactly how that's going to work just yet, because we're still just doing a lot of iteration and modeling around it. We've got the basic framework in place, and there will be an in-game rewards points that you earn and then convert that to Kopi. Most likely that's kind of how that would work. But that's the basics of it. We've just still got a lot of modeling to do before we fully announce what that plan is. But we are intending to get some of that out very, very soon, actually.
So Rob, you guys started building on Cardano, and I know you've gone multi-chain at this point. Do you feel Cardano, can you give us some insight? How was it building on Cardano? How did things run? Were there challenges you can talk to our audience about?
Yeah, I mean, Cardano was, when we started developing on it, was still very early itself in its development. But we were very confident that, before we started integrating into the blockchain, we have to build our game ourselves first. So we had at least an 18-month runway before we even looked at integrating the blockchain. And indeed, we didn't sell our first NFTs for the first 13 months. It was very important to us to actually build a team together, have some initial prototypes and show the world that we can actually deliver and build a game before we go out and sell anything on the back of it. But yeah, integrating the blockchain, our whole architecture has been designed so that the blockchain is almost, it is invisible to the user to a point, apart from connecting your wallet. But they've all been designed so that we can plug on as many blockchains as we want, and they would fit through the same interface and be presented to the user as if they just had just like a game. You could have vehicles from Ethereum, Binance, Cardano, for example. They would all appear on the screen. They might have a little icon in the bottom corner saying which chain they're on, but as far as you're concerned, they're all just there. It's just another choice of in-game assets. So that was built in from day one. And it was designed, like I say, in such a way that we can literally add on any blockchain. We're just reading the blockchain. You don't have to transfer your NFTs from one chain to another. It's built very, very simple for us. Well, we built it very, very simple because we know we wanted to scale not just the game, but the chains as well.
Yeah, I think it's an important point. Our overall strategy was interoperability. Cardano is our home chain, but we started on Binance chain. We've got liquidity on Ethereum as well. So when you look at that strategy is about, hey, let's be as accessible as we can to Web3 first.
Mm-hmm.
And then next up, we need to be as accessible as we can to mainstream gamers as well, because we want to bring mainstream gamers into our vision, into crypto, into the Web3 space as well. So we've got the world is our market, in all of gaming. But the strategy is first to captivate Web3.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing to be able to combine all the chains like that into the same game. That is super cool. Not something I've really seen out there. So
I wouldn't say all the chains, but we're trying to get as much.
Well, no, I'm sorry, but all the chains you guys are building on, to be able to integrate like that and have, like you just said, you're racing a car that you purchased on Ethereum against somebody that's racing a car that purchased theirs on Binance, and it doesn't matter to you. So I think that's super cool.
And it's not just cross-chain; it's the same thinking that goes into cross-platform. So you'll be able to in the future race PC against PlayStation or against Xbox. It's just it's like how Fortnite works. It's exactly the same thinking.
But the way you phrase that, Ryan, is actually something that we have coming in 2024 in the works, is a race of the chains.
Oh,
yeah. So
very
Ethereum
cool.
vehicle holders can race, Cardano vehicle holders can race, well, those are the two that we have. We're going to have NFTs on. We might have NFTs on another chain. So it's a race of 3 different chains kind of thing.
Okay.
We'll make it fun and have some sponsors and let the maxis battle it out. Hopefully keep it all in good fun and entertaining for everyone, because really we're blockchain agnostic and we want to see the industry do well and survive. But
that's super cool. That's going to be a lot of fun.
It is very exciting.
Josh, tell me, with regards to the pre-alpha mode, right? You guys are obviously getting lots of feedback back from your users. Is it a scary time to get that feedback back because you've built, you're testing? Maybe there's areas that you guys have gone wrong, or maybe it needs to be tweaked, but what type of feedback are you getting from your users?
It's a good question. Thankfully, from the very beginning, we built it into our desktop launcher, the ability to report bugs or issues. So in terms of bug reports, we've had a very well-developed system to be able to fix a lot of bugs and know what those are and fix them quickly. So that part of feedback is really well done. But that's also where you can report different ideas and as well. And the feedback has been great. People love the graphics. I think people are blown away by the fact that, you look at it, even if you look at the YouTube videos we have and change your YouTube settings to play it in the highest possible quality, which we definitely recommend, play it in the highest quality that you can on YouTube. Seeing that, you look at some amazing graphics, AAA quality, but most people are saying that when they get in and actually experience it themselves, and it's not just video, and they get in and play around, that they're blown away. It's so immersive. So people really, really loving that. But we've definitely got a good amount of feedback on, some of the stuff is very early stages still. And so we're aware of that. That's one of the drawbacks to, early access or pre-alpha, is that you're showing something that's not a finished product. So a lot of the stuff that we have had feedback on, we're aware of. We need more gameplay in certain areas. We need more gameplay mechanics, and that's all in the works. And we've planned for all of that. But the beauty is that you start on something, and when you're building a world like we are, where let's just take mining for example. We've built out the mechanics and the graphics for mining for the most part, so we can put mining under each of our worlds, but just change up the maps a little bit, and boom, you've got something that scales and adds value to a variety of places. Rumble Ball is a new game that we brought in. It's a mini game. It's basically like soccer, but like it's got a real physics kind of feel. And that's very early stages, but we can basically now put Rumble Ball anywhere we want in cornucopias very simply, very easily. It doesn't require a ton of work. So when we're building things out, we really want to build it out in a way that allows us to scale it and really lay that solid foundation. But anyway, that's just some little examples from what the communities wanted. So we need more gameplay and things like that, but that's all part of the path that's already in the roadmap.
Yeah. Well, so Rob, for those unfamiliar with blockchain gaming, how user friendly is Cornucopias for newcomers? Is there a learning curve? How do you onboard new players that are completely new to this concept?
Yeah, so you just join our Discord, create a player account on our website, and then play the game. You don't need to connect a Web3 wallet or any kind of wallet to begin with. That was always the plan of from day one. Players can come in, play the game for free, and over time, we will we will entice them and say, look, your wallet's got some assets in there and potentially worth this amount of value. Are you interested in learning the benefits of Web3 and how you can sell them on secondary markets? And because you actually own your own assets. So that's something that we wanted to build in from day one. We're also working on our own educational platform as well, so we'll be able to allow people to go and take courses and learn about different parts of the game as well as Web3 and blockchain. So all these core elements have to be built in there because yeah, I mean, we understand there's, Web3 is brand new. Some people have a preconception that they've heard off other people that is incorrect. So we are on a learning curve, and as one of the pioneers in the space, we have a responsibility to educate people and inform them as best we can.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
on,
that's
on that
great.
user experience point, I would add that our system, you know, a lot of people in Web3, there's a crowd in Web3 that really is like, well, why do I have to even enter an email, right? Well,
Hmm.
okay, who are we designing? This is not we're only making this for crypto people. We're making this for everyone. We want to pull mainstream people in. So that's a key part of our strategy is yeah, you need to sign up with an email and then you can add your Web3 wallet or not add your Web3 wallet, which Rob explained. But the point there is this needs to be very, very accessible and easy for everyone because that's how you pull more people in to Web3 and educate them on exactly what all of this is about, which is awesome. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I love that approach of allowing people to come in that have no idea what crypto is. They could care less about crypto and just feeding them,
mhm.
little bits at a time, feeding them, getting them excited. And I know with the market coming up, everything's starting to move up a little bit. People are starting to talk about it. There's a little excitement in the air. So I think that's an absolutely great concept to get people in and get them learning about crypto.
Yeah, and you could still buy in-game assets with fiat.
Okay.
And what that does is it reserves an NFT for you. So if you're a mainstreamer, you're not ready to set up a Web3 wallet, you're not gonna go through the seed phase process and do all of the things that you need to do when you're not ready. But what if you're able to buy these assets and over time your wallet is accumulating value, it's reserving those NFTs for you, but you're not receiving them. You've bought the asset, you've bought the rights to use that asset in the game, and then eventually we say, "Hey, your wallet you have $2,500 worth of actual property that you can claim Would you like to claim it and convert your Web3 wallet? So that's how you onboard somebody into crypto, because you have a monetary incentive now to go create your Web3 wallet. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that so I can claim these assets.
Absolutely. That's great. Tricking people into making money. I'm kidding.
It's fantastic. Yeah, I agree. I think the fewer barriers to entry, I think then you have mass adoption. You know, the more you have to kind of work at it and you try to figure it out. People are just, especially in a world where everybody wants instant gratification, you got to have that ease of entry. Otherwise, yeah, it's you alienate a
Yep.
whole new generation of potential users. Um, Josh, a two-part question, right? So let's say,
Okay.
as I own a dome, right, and I want to create a universe. Are there building blocks for me to create the type of universe that I want? And then, secondly, NFTs have had a bad rap for over the last season, right? They've been from highs, now they're absolute lows. Could communities like Bored Apes, could they come in and say, all right, can they customize their skin or their avatar for their 10,000 users, and they go out into the metaverse and create these challenges and quests and compete as an internal structure, at the same time as part of the ecosystem structure?
So can communities do a custom skin or something like that to bring in to yes. So we've talked to Meld. That's a partner that we have, and they're going to be one of the first vehicle skins that we do. But this is a direction that we're eventually hoping to take, as we can put more manpower to it, is to allow communities the ability to create their own Ape Society skin or a Meld skin for their vehicle or that sort of thing, to bring in larger communities. And so, yes, that is definitely on our roadmap.
Okay. So you could basically have your top 50 NFT assets that have this sort of 3D image and infiltrate into the game and have their own little community empire inside Cornucopias.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So if they were all owning this particular skin, then you've got a Meld racing team, for example. But yeah, we can take
Yeah.
that a variety of different directions over time.
Just from an add-on question there, could that dome universe, could I create a shopping mall for people to purchase, let's say my merchandise, or so it's not just about cornucopias, in the direction that the game's taking me in, whichever plot I choose, but I can also create an ecosystem for my thriving community. They can get access to certain private material. They can shop for, clothing or additional assets that, can benefit the community. Would that be possible?
So eventually, with our custom domes, we're going to have building kits where you can create your own world inside your custom dome. And we'll have different building kits. For example, a tropical themed building kit where it has palm trees and beach environment and dunes and things like that. Or there might be a player versus player building kit, or there might be a payments and business building kit where it allows you to monetize your dome and collect payments for tickets to get into your dome, and then you have a PvP battle or something like that. So that those are the types of things that we're moving towards, where it really allows the community to build out through our through our collection of building kits. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very, very
very
cool.
cool.
So, Rob, how does the game balance the enjoyment factor for casual players who, they're just there to simply have fun versus those who aim to generate assets and rewards within the platform?
Well, yeah, I mean, game balancing is obviously something really important, and something we may get right, or we may get wrong from day one. But it's something, with the beauty of having the the amount of people that we have testing the game, that's something that we will learn over time. We have ideas of how to balance the game, and we working, like Josh said, with companies like Machinations to get the in-game currency. But in terms of gameplay, yeah, that will be purely, we'll put an idea out, and we'll go off feedback, and if it, depending on the feedback, we'll either develop it more or develop it less. So it's a challenge. I mean, and with so many different types of gameplay within Cornucopias, you know, the hopefully there'll be something for some people, whether it's racing, whether it's sports, fishing, whether it's just grinding, whether it's just exploration. And yeah, there will hopefully be something for everyone in there, from casual all the way up to hardcore players.
Okay. And so moving on a little bit, can you explain, with the rise in online gaming security concerns, how does Cornucopias prioritize user data protection and ensure a secure gaming environment? And additionally, are nodes going to play a factor in in securing your network, or do nodes? I know you guys are currently doing a file node sale. Do those play a role in the security, or is it some other factor there?
Yeah, I mean, security is one of the, the top measures that has to be with any game, and especially one where there is, a financial side to it, a DeFi side to it with cryptocurrency. So from day one, we all have always had um, data protection and security at the heart of the system. If we look today at the launcher securely downloads files and then does checks to make sure that those files have not been tampered with while the player is actually playing. You can't log into the game or do certain things without the launcher double checking those, and a lot of the checks are done server side, so that even if you tamper with the client, the server will not be affected, and that will do a lot of rejections. In terms of the file nodes, the file nodes themselves, they help decentralize and distribute certain elements of the games, especially so they're kind of like they complement the launcher in terms of being able to distribute the files and gather them, and you don't have one central point of failure. I mean, we could just create a CDN and just pay Amazon loads more money and just increase that pipe, but we want to empower the community to help us to do this. But the nodes themselves have a huge security side automatically built into them. They not only make sure that the source files that they are sharing haven't been tampered with and are secure, but they will also do a check before and after and encrypt the data. So yes, security is absolutely crucial for any game, but yeah, more crucial when there's elements of DeFi there.
Yeah, for sure. So file nodes are currently on sale, if I'm not mistaken. And then owning a file node is going to give you the ability to purchase nodes that are going to become available in the future.
Yeah.
Can you what are those? What's the purpose of these nodes available in the future?
There's so many different use cases for nodes. We've been working on three different types. We have our research and development, but some take more development than others, and especially when it comes to security. And so some of the node types that we're working on may never see the light of day. Some of them may go to a full product, but only that product's used internally, and some of them will come to fruition and be available for players. So the two, I suppose, that I can talk about is obviously the file nodes for distribution of the game files, but in the future we will also have the game servers themselves. Those are tiny files that we will be able to run from remote servers, and players will be able to host those. And then when you jump off into say racing, for example, that will, instead of connecting to Amazon, will be able to have the ability to connect to these. But those, again, although we have those working, they're not at a level at the moment that can be that can be sold or run by players, because that needs the underlying infrastructure that we're still working on, and the file nodes themselves to keep those images and those services up and running. So we have to, build the technology and roll it out slowly, but we are working on the game and infrastructure in parallel behind the scenes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, the nodes sale is going really well so far. So we're doing two sides, a Cardano side and an Ethereum side, and we've already gone through 3.5 tiers on the Cardano side that have sold out. So and then
Wow.
the price just kind of gradually goes up with each tier level. But yeah, it's going really well. So we're happy with it, and it's a good nodes rewards system that we have for providing those services, and you get to participate in providing infrastructure for our ecosystem, and that's pretty huge. It's a step towards decentralization. It's not complete decentralization. We just take steps as we go.
Hmm.
But it also removes the single point of failure as well. So there's multiple options with these nodes, which is great.
Guys, obviously on the rewards on the node side. So just for those who are not familiar with a node, we've discussed what file nodes are. We discussed exactly future of different types of nodes. But why would anybody purchase a particular node other than purchasing Copy tokens, for example? Is there I think Ryan said that if you do own a node, it'll give you first access to future purchases of nodes. It gives you that entry into the door. Is that valid? And then from a reward structure, how does someone get remunerated by just running a node?
By running a node, well, it's going to pay out according to a variety of factors. So the node needs to be up and running, right? So there needs to be a certain amount of time that it's up and running, but it also needs to provide data. So there needs to be data. So there's a variety of criteria of adding value to the ecosystem that a node will the rewards will be calculated based upon, and then there's a rewards pool that will be divided up based upon the number of nodes that were up in a given time period. Is the basics on how that's going to work. So each node is rewarded based upon the value they're providing, because we ultimately here we're trying to get to a place where the end user has a better experience playing cornucopias.
Josh, what does the future look like for Cornucopias 3 to 5 years from now, from your perspective?
Oh, 3 to 5 years from now. That's a big one. I mean, hopefully we have millions of people playing the game at that point, and partnerships with large, really well recognized brands where we bring in large communities and give them access to value. And there's a mutually beneficial relationship there that we're bridging the real world with the digital world in a variety of ways, that we're bringing B2B opportunities in. For example, a fashion brand that may want to sell some of their actual fashion, their purses or their swag in a digital format, but it gives you a discount to go into their stores and purchase in the real format, or the real brand, the physical brand. So there's a variety of different things that we can do with large partnerships down the line as we get millions of users. And so I think you see a thriving metaverse with gameplay features the further and further that we get along. But right now we're starting as a game. The vision is to create an entertaining and fun game for people to jump in and socialize. And again, it's an MMO RPG, so there's a lot of fun element to it, and it gradually becomes more and more interconnected with the world in a variety of ways, and a real economy inside what we're building. But yeah, there's so much. It's hard to say 3 to 5 years out. There's a lot that can happen.
So, Rob, do you have any closing remarks you'd like to leave our audience with?
No, I mean, I think Josh is right in what he's saying. You have to remember, cryptocurrency itself is very, very early, and gaming to this level, decentralized gaming, Web3 gaming is definitely early, building on this early technology as well. And we're one of the pioneers in there. And there's a unique opportunity, I think, for our testers and our community to come in and actually build something that's never been done before, help us to scale, and also at the same time be part of that decentralization. If you own a node, apart from you'll get rewards and you'll have ability to have future NFTs, exclusive NFTs, and all that good part, you're also being part of helping us to disrupt a gaming space that for decades your assets and your purchases are locked in, and all the money goes back to the publishers and the developers. This really is an amazing chance to be part of something, I think, very, very special.
Yeah, I am super excited for the whole ecosystem here to come out, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So, Josh and Rob, thank you so much for joining us today and giving our audience a little insight into cornucopias. And it's been a lot of fun. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Enjoyed
Thank you.
it. Have a good one.
Thank you very much.
You too. Thanks.
The material and information presented in this recording are for entertainment purposes only. Do not misconstrue what you hear as investment or trading advice. Always do your own research. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by the guests on this recording are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of Dad's Gone Crypto or its hosts.